Hi, how you doing? This summer in 2026, we have two cool releases. One in movie theaters and the other on Prime Video. And we have a reboot of a famous series that's in the works. Let's start with Masters of the Universe. Now, how many of y'all remember that? Well, I'm sure a lot of y'all do from the 2000s retelling and what you saw on Netflix. But I'm sure a lot of you don't remember the TV series from the 80s. You know about Prince Adam, who is Prince of Eternia, and he has a secret identity. He has this magical sword. Whenever he holds it up and yells, "By the power of Grayskull," and he becomes He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, and he always yells, "I have the power!" See, like that. Defends it against the evil Skeletor and his evil henchmen. He is paired with Man-at-Arms and his daughter Teela. And let's not forget the sorceress who turns into a bird and she guards Castle Grayskull. And it was a hit with the kids, and it sold a lot of action figures. I should know because I was a kid and I bought some of those action figures. Yes, can't you tell? I'm that old. Can't you see my lines on my face? Can't you? Yeah. And they made a live action movie about it in 1987, starred Dolph Lundgren as He-Man. Perfect. It didn't fare well with fans or critics. I thought it was okay. I don't think it was high art, but I thought it was okay with what it achieved. I think the actors did pretty well with what they were given. Even Frank Langella as Skeletor in the film, he said he had the most fun playing that character. He enjoyed it. Now, this summer is coming a new He-Man movie starring Nicholas Gelstein as He-Man and Adam, Prince Adam, who is exiled. From what the trailer said, he's not exiled. He is put on Earth for protection because they were going to kill the prince when he was a kid before he could attain power. That's how it looks. And they put him, and of course, Prince Adam on Earth has a funny feeling that this is not his life because he was destined for something bigger and more. And turns out he was right. He is brought to Eternia by Teela, played by Camila Mendes. And he discovers his origins and the source of his power. And I gotta say, the setting is pretty good. It looks like Game of Thrones and Star Wars mixed together. And I like the cast. Nicholas Galestine is He-Man, and I mentioned Camila Mendes, Idris Elba's Man-at-Arms, perfect casting. Jared Leto is Skeletor, yeah, and Alison Brie as Evil Lynn. Oh, I'll bet she's going to be good. And the trailer looks very impressive, and I'm really excited. I hope it doesn't disappoint. Keep my fingers crossed for Masters of the Universe. Now, let's move on to Spider-Noir. Now, I like the idea that this is not... Most of the time when they make superheroes for the big screen, they're not always particularly kid-friendly, and even when they stream it. And I gotta say, this does not look particularly kid-friendly, but kids are probably going to watch it anyway, mainly because they want to see Spider-Man. They want to see Spider-Noir do his stuff. They're not going to care about a storyline. But the adults probably will, because Nicolas Cage plays Ben Reilly, a depressed private investigator who also has superpowers. That and it's in a 1940s like setting, so I'm pretty sure that this is another multiverse type thing. And if I would really look forward for Nicolas Cage to appear in the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, just to introduce the just I would love to see him team up with the other Spider-Men like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. If they ever come together again, I would love to see that. I'm still hoping for a Miles Morales movie. I played the game. Game was pretty good. Yeah, the setting looks like they're taking. It looks very stylized, like a Sin City like feel to it is what they were going after. And I like the idea that he's not this go-lucky type of superhero. He just looks depressed and run down and has this sad, unfortunate weariness about him. And who could play it better than Nicolas Cage? I mean, I never thought of Nicolas Cage as a TV actor, but must have been a pretty good premise to get him to sign on. I mean, he must really love playing a superhero. I mean, as you probably know, he almost played Superman. You see some of his footage that in the Flash movie, he played Ghost Rider twice, and he played Big Daddy in Kick-Ass. So he must really love playing a superhero. I hope it's going to be good. I hope it doesn't disappoint. I am really looking forward to it. It comes out in May on Prime Video. I mean, Masters of the Universe comes out June 5th. Spider-Noir comes out on Prime Video on May 27th. So, are they both going to be good? I hope so. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for both of them. Ow. Now, let's talk about a reboot to a famous series titled The Rockford Files. Truth is, I've watched a few episodes. I never watched the series regularly. Of course, I was a kid in that decade. I was a little baby in that decade. I didn't watch much TV. Well, I watched some stuff. Yeah, the Rockford Files starred James Garner as Detective Jim Rockford, an ex-con who becomes a private detective, and he is very witty, kind of smart aleck at times, and he has this sort of you just enjoy his everyday man charm. He's not suave, and sometimes he just wins by dumb luck. Well, most of the time. Well, the episodes I've seen, it just seems like he wins by dumb luck. And now they're rebooting it, starring David Boreanaz. You know him from Angel and Bones. Even though I watched some episodes, I would think that James Garner would be a tough act to follow. I mean, he was so good and charismatically witty in the role. I mean, after the series ended, mainly because, well, he got beat up. You probably know he got beat up a lot in the show, and and it got to a point where it started to take a toll on his body. So you can understand why he quit. And the series ran for a good 6 seasons. And there was an attempt to try it with one reboot with Dermot Mulroney in the role, but they showed it to test audiences. That's the main reason why it didn't air, because it didn't fare well with test audiences. They probably thought Dermot Mulroney, good actor that he is, was just sorely miscast. I wouldn't think this would work. Like I said, James Garner would be a tough act to follow. But then again, there have been successful reboots like Hawaii Five-0 that ran for 10 seasons. And then there was Magnum P.I., which ran for 5 seasons. And then there's the new Matlock starring Kathy Bates. That's still a big hit. And then there was The Equalizer starring Queen Latifah. So maybe this Rockford Files could work. I mean, David Boreanaz, he does have this enjoyable everyman like charm that he brought to the roles of in the shows he was in. Like he brought to Angel and in Bones. He could be very witty and enjoyable, and I think he could bring this everyday man like charm that the way James Garner brought it. I don't think he's going to do a sheer imitation of Garner, no, but I think he's going to play the role in his own unique way. Well, I always liked David Boreanaz. I think he could suit the part better than Dermot Mulroney. But I have nothing against Dermot Mulroney. I think he's a great actor. But maybe he was just wrong for the role of Jim Rockford. Okay, that's what I got to say about these three things. Do you think they're going to be hits? I surely hope so. Have a nice day.